Hi, this is our first Google Hangout, and we're talking about technology standards. So I'm going to go first and talk about my technology standards. I had the teacher standard number 3 and student standard number 3 and teacher standard number 3. So basically, the teacher standard number 3 talks about a teacher being knowledgeable and fluent enough in technology to be able to teach her students how to, or their students how to analyze, research, and locate information using multiple media tools. And then the student standard number 3 kind of goes hand in hand with that as well, where the students learn from the teacher how to be fluent with technology so that they can research and learn how to evaluate tech, information. So on Teachers First, I found this kind of like website. It's a student-friendly website called Fact Monster, and basically all that the students do is it's like a search engine. They have all different kinds of the what am I trying to say? The subjects. They have social studies, language arts, math, science, all are included. And the teacher can make these like handouts and it'll ask the student questions and then the students go on there and they navigate their way through the website to find the information. So I thought that was like super interesting. And if you're interested, the website is factmonster.com. So an example for the student one is the historical scene investigation. It's a website where it's interactive and it can be used as a social studies lesson. Now this would have to be used with maybe like 4th or 5th grade, maybe even middle school. But basically your students are like set up to be investigators and there's cases that are based on US history that the students have to like figure out what happened. So there's different types of evidence. There's like voice recordings and documents that the students have to analyze to figure out how to answer these questions to solve the case. And after doing all of this research, I thought of 3 different like points that I would think of, and I would always want to make sure that you want to have your lessons be student centered while they're using the technology, and then you constantly want to be assessing and evaluating your lessons and the use of your technology to try and like better your lessons. And the last one was be sure that you as an educator are skilled and knowledgeable of technology and constantly teach yourself so that you can teach your children and your students better as well. And then there are my references. And now Nicole is going to talk about her standards. Nicole?
So I had I had teacher standard number 2. Can you see it? Okay. I had teacher standard number 2, number 4, and student standard number 2. They are the ISTE standards, and that stands for the International Society for Technology and Education. So the second ISTE standard for the teacher is design and develop digital age learning experiences and assessments. So this standard is all about teachers designing, developing, and evaluating authentic learning experiences and assessments with the use of technology. Teachers incorporate digital tools and resources to promote student learning and creativity and create technology-enriched environments for students to pursue their interests in learning. Also, the teachers customize learning activities to address the differences in students' learning preferences so each student is accounted for in the classroom. And finally, they provide students with multiple forms of assessment that are aligned with the technology standards and use the data from those assessments to plan their future teaching and student learning. The second teacher standard I had was standard number 4, which says promote and model digital citizenship and responsibility. And this standard is all about teachers understanding local and global societal issues and responsibilities in the ever-evolving digital culture. So teachers need to model appropriate behavior in their professional studies and with their students. To do this, the teachers address the diverse needs of their students through learner-centered strategies and engaging students and themselves with other cultures through the use of digital communication and collaboration tools. The student standard I had was communication and collaboration, and students use digital media to communicate and work collaboratively with others. Also, students develop a cultural understanding and global awareness by interacting and engaging with other learners of different cultures through the use of technology. And they contribute to project teams to produce original work or to solve problems. So students use technology to communicate and collaborate with each other to get work done, but also to learn about each other. So for standard number 2, I found a website that was called Smithsonian Quest from Teachers First. And this website has multiple quests that challenge learners and help students and teachers by giving them an opportunity to develop the skills necessary to be successful in today's world. It's kind of like a game, but there's flexibility in the quests, and they provide various subject areas for personal learning experiences. So if you have a student or even a teacher who's using this site, they can pick from social studies, history, English language arts, reading, or any other subject area that they find interesting. And another example for teacher standard number 4 is called Digital Compass. And this is an animated interactive website that is designed to teach students in grades 5 through 8 about digital citizenship. And there are 8 characters that demonstrate different topics such as cyberbullying and internet safety. And as it progresses, the person makes decisions on the website, and the student can see how the decisions they made will affect the outcomes. So either they'll have positive or negative outcomes. And for the student standard, which was collaborate and communication, I found the Flat Stanley example from eduscapes.com. And it is based off a book called Flat Stanley by Jeff Brown. And in the book, the main character, Stanley, is squashed by a falling bulletin board. And because he's now flat, he can send an envelope to visit his friends and family. So the class sends a paper cutout of a Flat Stanley along with their writing by conventional mail or communicating through digital media such as email, or we could have a class Twitter account, something where you could communicate with Stanley about his adventures. Sometimes with digital media you can send pictures back and forth to each other, so you could trace on a bulletin board or on a map where Stanley's gone through his pictures and where he writes to you from. So the students together produced the map of his visits with his friends and family, and the activity could be year-long, a semester-long, a quarter-long, however long the teacher deems appropriate for the Flat Stanley website. And through this, the students learn to communicate effectively and collaborate as a class if the activity is done as a class. So after doing the research, I concluded that teachers need to think about how they can use technology and media in meaningful and real-life situations for their students. The students will learn skills they need for the rest of their life in addition to skills in using different technologies. So the skills that students utilize when using the technology are skills that they will need in the changing society that we have that's very much based on technology. The second one, when using the technology standards, one must be aware that it is the teacher's responsibility to provide students with environments and experiences to flourish. The teacher is also a role model that encourages proper use of technology. In the classroom, the teacher is the role model, and the teacher needs to be exemplifying proper skills when using technology. And the final conclusion I had was using the technology standards will help the students learn and grow. Students will be able to interact with people even if they are across the globe and still learn from them. So students can use different applications like Skype to communicate with students, or pen pal in another section of the world, or even in another classroom that is across the school building. So using the technology standards in the classroom engages and excites students, as well as teaching them responsibility. So these are my references, and that's it.
All right, thank you, Nicole. And now we're going to have Krista share her technology and standards for student and teacher standards.
Okay, so
So I have the first teacher standard, which says this. I'm going to it. The first one for teacher standards is facilitate and inspire student learning and creativity. There are 4 factors to this, and that's demonstrating creativity and original thoughts, use technology to capture the students' attention in real-world scenarios, encourage students to reflect using group tools to demonstrate the process, and demonstrate and interact with students using virtual and physical settings. The next standard I had was Student Standard 1, and that's about creativity and innovation. Students demonstrate their creativity as well as innovation through the use of technology. There's 4 points to that. They'll use technology to use what they know to create new understandings, make new works to express, explore difficult topics with examples and replications, find patterns and common occurrences, then predict what could occur. I also had student standard number 6, which is technology operations and concepts. Students show a clear understanding of technology. This is through they need to comprehend and use technology, make good choices in regards to tools that they use, solve problems in regards to that technology, and use prior knowledge to learn new skills. So for the teacher example, I chose this site from the teacher, what's it called? If I can go back to it. The teacher's first site had a Lifeboat to Mars activity. It was a website that was for grades 5 through 8, and there was 2 options from it where you could choose to go to create a micro world or an eco land. Both of these were on like a spaceship, and the students could create them. Teachers first suggested that you demonstrate this to your class on the front site, like in front of the class. I suggest using EcoLand. If you use this with the students and then let them do it themselves or in groups, it would address several of this first standard, which is allows the teachers to demonstrate inventiveness, captivates the students' attention in solving plausible problems with technology, encourages the students' creativity and planning, and allows the teacher to demonstrate knowledge in a virtual environment. The next one to hit both the student standards, I found a site from Teachers First. It's called Ecosystem Explorer, and it's for grades 4 through 9. Teachers First also suggested that you use this site in front of the students and let them see it first before you let them individually explore. And you can use this to go into an ecology unit. Meet Standard 1, the exploration of the site allows the students to simulate and learn about a challenging topic. For standard number 6, the second standard, as the students interact with the website, they are demonstrating their comprehension of the tools. My conclusion is that as professionals, it is important that we know how to use these different tools so that we can effectively teach our students. 3 points would be, it is important to include parents, student, and others when applying these standards. Access to new technology is extremely beneficial, and students' needs should be what the lesson is built around. These are my references. And that is it.
All right, thank you, Krista, for that. And now we're going to hear from Amanda about her teacher and student standards.
Okay, the first one I had was teacher standard number 5, and this one was engage in professional growth and leadership. And it says that teachers should continuously improve their professional and leadership and model lifelong learning and exhibit leadership in their school and professional community by promoting and demonstrating the effective use of digital tools and resources. So the teachers should participate in local and global learning communities. They should also evaluate and reflect on current research on a regular basis. And then my examples for this was, the first one was Common Sense Media, and this one allows teachers, parents, and students to access information and resources for digital tools. Also, teachers can keep up with up-to-date digital tools that will help improve their students' learning. And this website also includes Common Core connections. They list apps and games that kids can use that incorporate the Common Core standards. And also, teachers can use this to get certification for teachers and schools by educating students with online safety. And then the second example I had was from Teachers First, and it was from atwas.com. And this has online math and English exercises that motivate students to continue to want to learn. It also has personalized learning, and this will allow students to master a topic on their own pace. So advanced learners will be given harder topics, and then the others that struggle may be given more time. And also this stays up to date with Common Core standards. And then I had student standard number 4, and this one was critical thinking, problem solving, and decision making. And so teachers should, or students should be able to identify and define authentic problems. They should also be able to plan and manage activities to develop a solution or create a project. And they should be able to collect and analyze data to identify a solution or make informed decisions. So my examples for this was Kidspiration, and this one will help students to plan and manage activities to develop a solution. Also, this website allows students to make webs or KWL charts or Venn diagrams to help in their literature classes to understand what their topic is. And also it can be used in math to learn fractions because it'll represent things that students need to find solutions for math problems. And then the other website I found was from Teachers First and bubble.us, and this one I actually put on my Digo account. And for an example, it could be used in a literature lesson with Goldilocks and the Three Bears, and students could be told to create a concept map of the plot line of the story. Students would be given laptops, or they could work with a partner and create the story plot. And also, this is a way that teachers can evaluate students on what they've learned by using technology instead of a written quiz. And then I had student standard number 5 as well, and this one is digital citizenship, and students should be able to understand human, cultural, and societal issues related to technology and practice legal and ethical behavior. And so students should practice safe and legal responsibility by the use of information and technology. Also, students should have a positive attitude towards using technology. So my examples for this was BrainPop, which is a website online, and it includes digital citizenship videos that teach students about internet safety. For example, there's videos on like how you get computer viruses, about cyberbullying, online safety, and then plagiarism. Teachers can show these videos in the classroom to teach and remind students that it's important to practice internet safety. And then in conclusion, as a teacher, it's important to continue to research and educate ourselves with up-to-date technology devices because this will benefit our students' learning, and technology is forever changing, so it's important to keep up with the changes. Also, my second point was that technology tools can help students in many ways to help them organize their thoughts and ideas. Since our generations and future generations will be based on technology, it's important to incorporate technology into our everyday lessons. And also, it's always known that something in a lesson can go wrong, so teachers need to become flexible when using and teaching the technology standards because technology doesn't always work. And then there are my references.
All right, thank you, Amanda, for that. Are there any questions that we want to ask each other? Any comments or concerns? I think that all of these websites and ideas that we shared with each other could be used on our Digo accounts. And if no one has anything else to say, then this will be the end of our first Google Hangout.